Hello, my name is Michael Pachetow, and I'm here on behalf of Michigan Mishrm. I'm here with Doug Rothwell.
Great to be with you, Mike.
Thank you, Doug. With Business Leaders for Michigan, he's the president. We're here at HMSA. Steve, come on in. Say hi.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Doug. Steve Lovett with HMSA. Glad to be hosting you guys here at our VIA TV studio.
Thank you.
Glad to
Enjoy.
have you here.
Yeah.
We have our leadership conference coming up in March at Soaring Eagle, and unfortunately you won't be able to be with us, but we truly appreciate taking time to meet with us today to put this video together for Michigan Mishrm. Thank you for being here.
Well, we're excited about the partnership we're going to talk about today.
Excellent. Well, could you share some information about Business Leaders for Michigan first? Some of our members may not know BLM, Business Leaders for Michigan.
Sure.
So why don't you give a little bit of overview of who they are and what you do?
Yeah, well, Business Leaders for Michigan is basically the state's business roundtable. So what that means is we're made up of about 80 of the top executives of the largest companies in our state. And if you add up the economic impact of those 80 companies, it's about 25% of the state's economy. So we employ over 300,000 employees directly, about 800,000 indirectly. We also have the presidents of the three largest research universities here in Michigan on our board, and they educate about 50% of all the students that are going through Michigan colleges as well. So it's a relatively small group with a pretty large economic impact, and we're all about trying to grow the state's economy. We do a number of things. We benchmark Michigan to other states. We develop strategies and plans. We advocate for policy changes in Lansing, and then we also actually run some programs that we think will make a difference. So all designed to make Michigan a top 10 state for jobs and economic growth.
That's excellent. And how do you get your word out?
Well, it takes a lot of work because, you know, we work a lot with the media to try to make sure that we educate them about the work that we do so that they can share it with the public. We also do that with the legislature and with the administration and anybody in a public policy world, and we also do some events. So, for example, we have an annual, what we call Michigan CEO Summit that's held here in Detroit every year. We also are going to have a session that talks about what opportunities Michigan has to grow the economy, and we bring all the stakeholders and groups that have some role in that together once a year here in Michigan as well. So a combination of events, working with the media, putting out reports, and of course the other thing everybody can find is go to our website at businessleadersformichigan.com. Easy way to kind of stay informed. We have a newsletter that we can send you to keep you up to date on our work.
Excellent. Well, Michigan Mishrm seems to have a lot in common with Business Leaders for Michigan, and I know that we met Jeff Thompson, myself, yourself, with Kelly Chesney. We met and had a brief meeting there. Can you tell us how you see the two organizations working together?
Well, you said it earlier. I mean, so much of what we have to do is to really educate folks about how competitive Michigan is or not relative to the places that we're trying to go up against to create more jobs in the state. And we want to try to make sure people are well informed about what those key factors are. And so we thought that if you look at what your mission is, which is to really make sure that you get the talent to fill the jobs that you're responsible for with the companies that you work with, that it would really be a good idea for us to try to, you know, not only share that with you, but also to help you be part of the force that we have, you know, the Army, if you will, statewide, to really try to, you know, advocate to policymakers and the public at large what it will take for Michigan to be a top 10 state. And so when it comes to talent, we need more, you know, people than ever before with an education beyond high school. Just getting the word out about that is important. What types of career opportunities are out there that we need to be making folks aware of? You know, how can business and education work more closely together to make sure there's a better connection between education and careers? Those are all things that, you know, are areas that you deal with every day, and yet you can help us really effectuate change.
That's great. Well, we're excited. I know that several of our HR professionals work with universities and help get the word out. But I know that you've invested a lot of resources, extensive resources, to bring together a lot of information on how Michigan compares with other states. So Doug, we talked about forming a partnership and to create a toolkit, a recruitment toolkit. Can you talk to me about how Mishrm and other organizations like Business Leaders for Michigan can partner together to form that and what it might look like?
Well, you know, one of the things that, you know, we hear from my members probably more than anything else is where am I going to find the talent to be able to fill the jobs that we know we have today versus and also those in the future. And I think, talked a little bit about how we really don't have kind of a ready-made, off-the-shelf package of information that really helps your members be able to make the best case for Michigan and to really educate them why they should be here versus somewhere else. And I think that between some of the data that we've collected, which gives us some competitive sense of how Michigan stacks up, some of the insights from your members in terms of what it is that they really need to be talking to prospective recruits about, that we can then together try to fill as many of those needs as we can in terms of putting this toolkit together, and then let's bring in a group like the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, which has a very strong focus on talent recruitment and retention, and frankly has the ability to be able to create videos and some other collaterals that would really be very helpful, I think, to your members. If we work on that together, that seems like something that would be a big benefit not only to the HR community, but also to the state of Michigan that's really trying to do a better job at recruiting and retaining talent.
I think that's how the CEOs and the HR professionals partner together to look ahead at talent is one of the major areas that we're all concerned with.
And I think what we bring to the table is maybe a little strategic view of what are the competitive factors that matter most? What are the things that we really need to be paying attention to in terms of if you're somebody thinking about either coming to or staying in Michigan, what you ought to be aware of?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that our thought that we also have was working with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. I mean, they're very active right now with a Michigan Talent Initiative, and I think very willing to help employers and groups like ours accomplish some of these goals. And we've been working with them on internships, for example, and they've already, for us, just created a separate kind of portion of their website that really is dedicated to that kind of activity. And I think if we went to them together and said, here's maybe where we're missing some information or have the need for better tools, they would be a great partner to help us make that toolkit really as robust as it should be.
That'd be great. Well, I think that as HR professionals, we also want to know from your membership, what do they see as the future of human resources? And so I know we've invited you to come to the October annual conference. In front of everyone today, are you willing to accept and come to our conference in October?
We'll definitely be there at the conference, and I think that what we hear from our members are just the importance of talent to their future business plans. Probably the number one issue that we hear about more than any other, and a real concern that are we doing the best job we can to really educate and grow that talent to be able to meet those needs. I think we're maybe a little less clear on exactly the specific skills and such that we need 5 years, 10 years from now. But what we do know is we're going to need more of it, and we're going to need more leadership talent. And so I think that the idea of getting an organization like Mishrm really more engaged in this work is going to be really important for Michigan.
Excellent. Well, we really appreciate you being here today and taking the time to customize a video for us at Leadership Conference. If you're talking about leadership, you're talking about Michigan Mishrm, Business Leaders for Michigan has done a lot of work, and we are proud to be a partner with Business Leaders for Michigan.
We are as well.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.